So being very thoughtful of those resets. Yeah. No time constraints.
Wow.
Zach, press out a little bit harder.
A little faster, you see yourself. The good thing is this. Does that make sense? It shouldn't go up. You shouldn't have to re-grip every time you do a shot. If you're re-gripping, milking the pistol, then you're gonna be thinking in your head, what am I doing wrong? I gotta fix my grip. Everything we're doing is we're trying to get you guys to the point where you guys are realizing what you need to fix while you're shooting. This way, when you're on the range or at home, you know what to practice. Cool?
Threat! Sam! Finger to the locator, buddy. Threat! Good.
Yeah,
make sure you get that sight picture.
You should do this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Speed him up. Push yourself. Threat! Make sure you get that last sight picture. This connection here shouldn't really change. So that master grip, as we call it, it's that for a reason. It's the, you know, your master connection to the pistol. So when you're coming in, after you dump and you come in, you see all that's happening is I'm opening up my hand to get that sucker in there, but I'm not doing anything to move the pistol. Follow? Because once you do that and you break that grip, now you've reloaded. Now to come back on target, I've got all kinds of goopiness going on. So then I've got to reposition it or let it drop in my hand. So that's going to stay pretty firm from the time it's in your holster to out of your holster.
Like out the hammer to the point of where it's gonna break. So like that.
This is the pistol to just do that little bit of a push as you're squeezing. So in order to fix that, dry firing, you're going to get a better trigger press where you're isolating it. The other immediate fix for that is to take your other hand and mash down. You're going to release some of that movement, or not release it, but overcome it.
Didn't we do the thumb index drill one time?
We did. Which I'll show you real quick what he's talking about. Step right here. So this is, you guys can do this. We don't have time to cover all these drills, but you're going to take your pistol just like this. What you're doing is isolating just your trigger finger. Don't watch the target, watch it. I'm going to shoot at the head so we can see where these rounds are going. The first two, I kind of was what I was doing. The last one, I got serious about my press, and you see exactly what I just said, that little bit of a mash, you're twisting the gun in your hand. So that's, easy fix. I think you're doing a little bit of that as well, but you just are milking it a little bit differently. And you, as a lefty, it's the exact same thing. It's probably the most common shooting issue. What's that?
It's the same thing with the opposite.
Yeah, just because you're using the other hand. It's totally,
Well, isn't that also that you're coming into the trigger at a slight angle instead of just straight back?
That's what it is. It's that, but there are many issues as to why this could happen, and it could happen 3 or 4 different ways just in one volley of fire, depending on how you reposition your hands. But you learn a lot from looking at a target after shooting a bunch of rounds. So sometimes we'll do class like this and guys will shoot like 500 rounds. And if you're smart, if for your own target, you'll take pictures of it, which we were talking about doing here today and we didn't. And you can analyze it later, and then over months or years you can analyze that and see how shit changes. I say we break for lunch.
Okay, but real quick, when you start noticing that kind of stuff where it's drifting over to the side or down, if your round starts drifting over here, your issue, I don't care if it's your trigger, if you're slamming the trigger finger, or it's your grip issue. When it goes down here, you're having it's this issue. Your left hand. This is the hand that helps mitigate anything that's going that way. So regardless if it's your trigger finger slamming or your hand slamming, down here is you don't have enough index finger underneath the trigger pushing up on it. Or if you're going down, let's do 3. Down here. you have this nice and tight, or your trigger press is real nice straight back, but you're slamming down on it, right? You're gonna get that. If you're going over here, you're getting the down and the cant over. You're going to the left. If you're shooting over here, you got enough here, but you're pushing that way. So once you start shooting and you start seeing a pattern happening, this is telling you what you need to fix. So if it's down here, what do you got to fix?
You have to adjust the left-hand pressure on the pistol.
That would be over here. Well, yes, you are correct. But if you're shooting down here, it's because if you're slamming on the trigger, or it's kind of a this motion.
Reset is
this
off.
Well, if you're slamming on it, if you're in a gunfight, you're not gonna get to the slack out reset. Like up close, you're just gonna literally from here burn the guy down. Okay. But when you look at your targets, this is how you assess what's going on. Over here, the index finger. And did I talk to you about some of this with some of you guys?
Yeah.
So index finger, think about it as a table under your pistol. Okay. Index finger is pushing up, and that's table from mitigating. It's not going to stop it all the time, but the stronger this hand is on here, it's going to mitigate how much is going down here. This is going to mitigate how much is going this way. Okay, you're not going to stop it 100%, but you're going to mitigate how far it's going over when you're shooting fast. Okay, so when you start seeing targets at whatever distance, and you start seeing yourself going down low, this hand is here to fix all the problems of this hand. Low, work on this. You see it over here, you're gonna work this and this. You see it over here, you're gonna work on this. Locking it down.
This is all for two-handed shooting.
Yeah.
Problems exist with one hand as well. Get that motion and do it again. Out of the holster, and when you're doing this, even from this position, don't think, okay, the drill starts once I fire. The drill starts once you put your hand on your gun. Every time you touch the weapon, you're learning something right or wrong, right? Get your proper grip, press out, find your front sight. As soon as that locks back, dump it, load. And 5. That cadence is probably about as fast as you're going to need to go, but you can figure that out here real quick once you start losing rounds off target. I'm going to do that one more time because I want to make sure that that feels good for me. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Adding into this then, so you guys see on the range, like if you watch like YouTube videos, dudes come in and they're scan and assess, right? I'm sure that they teach you that. When you're doing that, just spinning around is doing nothing but looking cool, right? There is a specific reason to do that, like Sang talked about breaking tunnel vision. So under an adrenaline dump, you develop tunnel vision. By pulling your eyes off of that, you have to physically make your eye contract and focus on something at a different focal distance. There's no reason to turn around to do that unless you feel there's a need to look behind you. It's a very bad habit to finish shooting somebody that you decided you needed to put holes in and then immediately bring your pistol in and turn around. So don't do that. The other thing that we did not touch on, unless you did, Sang, was every time we squeeze the trigger, this is the reason that we were doing this trigger prep drill earlier. Every time we shoot, we have one more sight picture in trigger prep. So if we shoot one round, watch my trigger, one round, I'm re-prepped. Right now I'm ready to fire again and I'm on target. So if I shoot twice, I have 3 sight pictures and 3 trigger preps. Does that make sense? If I shoot 4 times, I have 5 sight pictures. Because after I shoot, I am back on target, I am focused on my sight, and think to yourself, did I hit the target? Did my rounds work? Were they effective? If you just automatically come in or want to look at your target, you're no longer paying attention to the gun. Does that make sense? So as we're doing this, first 2 rounds, we're going to fire them, and you're not going to fire the next string until we give you the command to. You're going to fire 2, and then you're going to have that 3rd sight picture, and you're going to be prepped. The slack's going to be out of your trigger, ready to go. Then we'll tell you done, you're going to come back into this high ready position. Then 3, come out, bam, 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 1, 2, 3. You're prepped for the 4th shot, so on and so forth. Am I repeating myself too much?
Yep.
Now look at me. Just come straight back in. You see? The reason that we do that, so look, I have shot. I decided I am done shooting. I'm now here. I'm talking to my partner. I'm checking out what's going on. From here, from this position, there's no reason I can't shoot and re-engage a target. From here, or here, or here, I can't do that. What we're trying to get in your brain is that you have just shot somebody or you decided somebody needs to be shot, have your gun pointed in that direction, right? All right, so 2 shots, boom, boom, and then the 3rd sight picture. Fire. Stay up on target, stay up on target.
I want you to get your shots off and then get ready. Always think, does this need another? Does he need another? Does he need another? Locator, come back in. Always think, does he need another? Okay?
We're gonna add one more thing to this.
And then come back to
You guys got that last sight picture. You're staring at the target, like Sang said, does this mother effer need another? Some guys, and we teach this and we do it, some people don't like it, do it if you want to. I track down to the ground. So I finished, I've got that last sight picture, I am prepped on the trigger, I'm ready to fire, I can fire. I am tracking to the ground. Part of doing that not only forces you to stay on target, but it also breaks that tunnel vision. 3 shots, 4 sight pictures. Threat!
There is when you're about to let a round off. So as it's coming out, I'm not gonna do step 1, step 2. I'm prepping as I'm coming out, I get my rounds off. If I'm coming back in, this is for pistol, I'm done.
Use of force window.
Yeah, use of force window has closed because I just got my shots off. Does he need another? Does he need another? No. The threat is neutralized. Then my finger's gonna go onto the locator. We call it the locator, what they call index, whatever you're gonna do.
Position.
And then you come back here. If you have to re-engage again from, let's say you have to engage from here, your finger will go on the trigger. But anytime you're coming back in, the trigger finger goes off. Because if your finger's on here and then your partner lets off a round because there's another threat over there, and you're here and you're like, you're here with the finger on the trigger and you hear gun go, oh shit, and you just shot a kid. So anytime you're coming back in, finger goes on a locator. If you can't engage from here, so somebody starts to rush you and you have your pistol on and he's rushing you, he's probably not a good guy. So from here I can get shots off and re-engage. Does that make sense? But anytime you're coming back, finger goes on a locator, you come back in because the can't freaking remember that word. Use of force window is closed now because the threat is neutralized. No more threat, finger goes on the locator. Okay?
Do you guys have enough for your 4 rounds? Now, the other thing I will add to that is because we are training for reloads, you may decide during the next course of fire you're going to let your gun run empty and go to slide lock so you can practice. And if that happens, you're going to move and change the mag. Ready? 5 rounds, 6 sight pictures. Moving off the line of force. Threat! So for you guys, the line of force is your target to you, the shooter. We were talking earlier about the very short amount of time most gunfights take place in, so you're not going to have the time to draw, come out, okay, I like my grip, I like my sight, do I want to shoot double action or single action? Shit, did I load this thing? You know, you're going to come out of the holster pretty quick, and like Sang just showed you, you're prepping as soon as your hands join, so when you get to here, you can pop a shot off. So now we're going to add to that, you're going to add to that a very simple side step. So just that little bit makes it hard. I'm going to send Aaron down range, and he's going to move targets as you guys are shooting at them. Aaron's like, why did I show up? So this is all it's going to look like, fellas.
Eyes and ears. Yeah, your plugs in.
How do you guys do? Go ahead.
This is all you're going to do. You're going to draw, move, and we're going to go through those same 2, 3, 4 shot drill. And you don't always need to move the same way. after we go through one volley of fire, don't come back to the center. Just stay where you're at, and there's no reason you can't take 2 steps. So now your fundamentals become more important. Sang's point earlier about if your grip's not awesome, things like stance don't matter because now we're moving. So let's just see what it does for you and to your shooting.
This is not the shooting dance that we're trying to teach you guys. We're trying to get you guys to get off. It's a step closer to engaging as you're moving, opposed to when you're in the range. I don't know what kind of boot you guys got, where it's bang, 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 bang. You understand what I'm saying? So what we're trying to do when we're explaining the shooting and moving, it's not, we're not just doing one step. Yes, this will actually be better than standing there and shooting if he's got a gun out already. From here, we're gonna, I don't want you guys shooting on the move, okay? Get over here behind cover. We're gonna imagine it's a car or whatever the hell it is. We're gonna go, engage 2 times, finger on the locator. Don't be running around unless you're shooting. Muzzle pointed down range, engage 2 times, back up to the ground. Finger on the does he need another? Finger on the locator, bring it back in, holster up, and then we'll get the next guy.
So
and we'll kind of go like that. Sound good?
Did I hit? Did it work?
Back to the ground. Get back out there. Right! Get back to cover. Keep your eyes on the target. One more shot and check him to the ground. With first friends, get that in your head. With first friends, there you go. All right, next one. We'll do it next time. Good!
Cooper, are you ready? Brett! Woo! Did I hit?
Do one more shot. Check. Load, bring it in.
I don't have any mental on this.
One more shot, check him to the ground. Another. No, we got a locator. Bring it back in. Breathe. Deep breath.
Sight gear 2. You guys remember what sight gear 2 was? Sight gear 2 is an unrefined sight picture. You're still seeing the front sight, but you're not trying to line it up perfectly with equal height and equal light. So here's what I want you to do. Press it out in front of you, place it on the center of your target, and now start moving. Left, right, up, down. Left, right, up, down. Where you are taking that, holster up for 1 second, fellas. I'm going to step out in front of you. Wait for Sang. I want to describe one thing. Sang.
My ship is wow. Over here, it's going to prevent when you touch the trigger from round going this way. Think about it as a wall, and then this finger on the trigger guard is like a table. When you slam it on that trigger, it mitigates how far it's going down. So I'm doing like an up and then over. I'm blocking it. So I'm putting a wall against here. So
All right, I'm going down range. That's what you see when you're looking at the sights, right? Right? So what you're going to do, you're going to focus on your front sight. You're going to have it imposed over the target, and you are going to slowly move the front of the pistol so that that front sight touches the right side, then the left side. You can bring it out of the notch about yay far, and you can tilt the pistol forward so that you bury the front sight in the notch till it's down to about there. Does that make sense? You follow me?
Yeah.
While you're doing that, you're going to start firing at a cadence of boom, boom, boom. You're going to watch that front sight move in your in the notch a little bit. I'll demo it out right here on dude's target. I'm going to shoot at the head from here just because I want you to see what's happening. So watch the pistol, not the target. So I'm going to move it quite a bit. See the amount of movement? Quite a bit of movement, right? Right? At the end there, I just was flinging it all over the place. You're just moving about yay much, which is quite a bit. You're throwing your sights off as far as you can and still have them inside of the correlating sight. Does that make sense? So get up there. We'll do 6 shots, and you're going to move all the way up, and I'm going to call a shot. You're going to go, I'm sorry, I'm talking in circles here. You're going to come up and you're going to lift it as far out of the notch as you can, where the bottom of the front sight lines up with the top of the rear, and you're going to fire it around. You dig? Yeah?
So we're going right.
And also,
I didn't explain that very well. Get your gun out in front of you. Point it at the center of the target. Lift the front sight out of the rear notch until the bottom of the front sight is lined up with the top of the rear notch. You follow what I'm saying? Yep. Fire a couple rounds into the target with the gun screwed up. Now, do the exact opposite and drive the front notch down to where the front notch is buried in the rear sight.
Get out of so I'm gonna, as long as my front sight is anywhere in this box.
We're gonna now get your gun back up.
The block, but not.
Yeah, and that's all it is. At this distance.
Now you're gonna do all the way to the left. Run the front sight all the way over until it's hiding on the left side of the rear.
It's like up close and personal.
Now do the opposite now and run it over to the other side. Now, if you guys did your job, you should all be on the paper or very close to it, right? Yes, no? This is not prom. You can talk. Okay. So now we're going to do that again. You guys all just topped off. Run it out there, and you're going to run that gun in that circle. Focus on the center of the target, and just move it around in a little circle like I'm doing. And just run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it? Shoot. Go. Ceasefire. The point is not move it and wait for the sight to come to the center of the target. The point is to be moving, and regardless of where it is, your cadence of fire continues regardless of where the front sight is. You're not going to get a tight group. You follow?
Got it.
Try it again. Keep the pistol moving. It's kind of like one of them like tap your head and rub your belly things, you know? You're trying to do 2 things at once. Get after it. Why aren't you moving the sight? Alright. Did I hit? Did it work? Is there more bad guys? Alright, we're going to start coming to the rear. Same thing. Ready? Move! Holster up. Good group, but now going faster, that's where you start to lose it. So most people have the problem where they say, okay, I don't like that my rounds are riding up or that I'm not keeping that nice tight group, so what do you naturally do? You slow down so you can tighten it back up again. But you're not doing anything other than creating a good target. You're not teaching yourself any skills. So I'll show you what this is going to look like. Saying you got ears?
Yeah.
For you guys, the 5, right? Look at my thumb positions. In order for this to work, you have to be locked into the gun. I'm staring right at that 0. Looking at my sight. Now you can speed it up. Locked in, you're going to still get good hits, not seeing the sight. So try that. This is going to teach you to learn to trust the rest of your shooting platform. Does that make sense? Why we're doing this?
Yeah.
Cool. So run. You're only going to get something out of this if you are intently focusing on that center of that target and not your sight. Threat! You guys looking at your sights, or are you looking at? No, that's great. That's the point, though. These are effective hits at almost contact distances without seeing your sights. So try it again. This time, come up, press out, focus on that 5, and run 6 rounds through your gun about as fast as you can get them out. Ready? Threat! Burn them to the ground. Remember to jump them mags before you bring that gun up, because look what happens. It drops out like super, super slow, especially when the mag's empty and there's no gravity yanking it. As soon as it comes to slide lock, just teach yourself to go to that button. You got ammo on board, try it again. Threat! You guys heard saying earlier that you don't need to always do the same amount of reps. This becomes a training star where you train your brain 6, 6, 6, 6, or 2, 2, 2, 2. Mix it up. Part of the reason that you're mixing it up is not just to vary your ammo use, but you are literally taking yourself out of the, you're stepping back from the drill and having to have some different analytical thought about what you're doing. While it's not a complex problem to decide to shoot 4 instead of 6, you're stepping back from that and not forcing yourself to do it the same way every time.
Reach of my pistol, right? So from here, either if I come out from here and I blast from here, you guys got eyes and ears, right? From here, and I come out, sight gear 3. I'm just kind of, I don't want to say punching or whatever you want to call it, sight gear 3, where I'm not really looking at my front sight. I'm close enough, and I'm backing up, and I'm essentially the same distance, right? Then I change to sight gear 1. He's on the ground. Doesn't need another. He goes for the gun and knife weapon again. Precision shot. You understand the difference? Same almost distance, but from here I'm just. You get it?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, let's do this drill again. We'll do the drill that we just did, the walking back and forth.
I may have to pull the gun in if he pushes me too close to the target, and as he brings me out, I can press back out if I choose to. But I am going to learn doing this to maintain good muzzle awareness. I'm going to learn to have to be able to still get hits regardless of outside influences on my body. Does that make sense? Okay, so here we go.
So let's run the first. We'll run the first mag, where I go forward and backwards, so you learn to bring the gun in and out. And
Got it?
Do the boop.
You guys paying attention?
Yep.
And had a malfunction there too. Do you understand the point? Yes?
Got it.
Reload! 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 You want to top off, or are you going to work with what you got in the mag?
Yeah, I'll work. Shoot it.
Okay, now we're gonna move laterally. Ready?
Yeah.
Threat! Make it work! Make it work! Make it work!
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna run one mag, where me and Mickey are gonna move you guys forward and backwards. Okay. As you get closer to the target, you're gonna bring the gun in closer. As you back away, then you can extend. As you come in, because you don't want this when they can grab it. Okay, so
It's called a flow drill.
After you run out of ammo, go ahead and reload, and then just cover it out on the guy, and then we'll go to the next drill. Cool?
And there's a very good chance you may be getting pushed around while you're reloading, so make it work.
Got it.
You guys good? I'll grab you by your vest.
Go ahead. Come to ready pistol.
What you call it, thing?
Threat!
Make it. Oh, got it, you got it.
Threat!
Reload! Make it work! So there's a nice drill that you'll see guys do where you'll be holding a clipboard in your hand at this point, right? You're writing somebody a ticket because you guys are pricks, right? And now all of a sudden you gotta shoot because the dude's shooting at you out of the vehicle. So start with your hands up here, just for the shit of it, to force yourself to think about what you're saying. You stand like that. Just saying. Now get your hands up in front of you. You're gonna get off the line and engage. No time to see your sights. You guys you got ammo?
I got it plugged in.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll go over it.
Hands up. You're gonna move a little bit and get some rounds into the target. Remember, we're not looking at our sight at this point. You are indexing on the target. Your eyes are focused on the center of your target. There shouldn't be much movement of the pistol in my strong hand. If I switch to my weak hand, same thing. So when you guys are dumping that magazine and coming in to reload, I saw this, Sam, your gun for some reason ended up like that in your strong hand.
See people, they get held up by gunpoint. They're like that muzzle was like this big. It was, I don't know, this huge muzzle. Your eyes biologically will lock into that distance and lock into that distance. So when you guys are shooting and you guys are supposed to be a bad guy, if you don't breathe, your focal distance locks in at that distance, unless you start breathing and reoxygenating those eyes. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's work on. We're not here for speed. We don't care how long it takes. But we're here to get those fundamentals down. So when you go back home, you guys know what you guys are doing when you guys are dry firing or going to the range. So make sure when you come out, you got the pistol, you have the proper grip. Take your time with it. Extend out. If you're too far, too close, you got to find that comfort zone. It's gonna be different for everybody. Everyone's bodies are made differently. When you guys come in, when you guys are done shooting, and you have to reload, you're loading out here and you're like, oh shit. Stop yourself, bring the pistol in, do what you gotta do properly. You have to get the things done the right way. You know, they call it muscle memory, even though there's no memory in muscle. You have to continue to fix yourself, correct yourself to do it to the point where you don't think about it.
5 feet behind where that ground impacted the dirt, that's a pretty shitty thing to have blasting at your feet and all that stuff spraying up you, not to mention now you're reacting to gunfire. So his point was if you can't get a hit, at least you're throwing ammo at. So I'm off that topic, but the point is to run so fast and try to throw the gun out so fast that you're missing the steel, you're wasting ammo and not getting anything out of it. So there's this balance point of speed and accuracy, and if one's going to diminish as the other increases, you can only go so fast to where you start to diminish, and we have to find that point. And all of us have like a break-even point, and the only way to get faster is to fix whatever fundamental flaws are causing your accuracy to decrease. You guys follow?
And they call it the BSA drill. So you guys hear that terminology? I'm going to throw terminology at you. That's training terminology, but they call it BSA.
And then ask, what the hell does that mean if you don't know? So that's the point I want to make sure that we get. If we get and the other thing, from here on out today, if a drill requires said number of rounds, which Shake said to you it doesn't, this drill, but if you threw a shot at steel and missed, make it up before you take off running. Because again, we are not just simulating a target, we're simulating an adversary. If you missed, why are you leaving cover to go to more cover if you missed your target, right? So you're training yourself to think through the noise and the emotion of it.
So like you're in the locker room, and you're
Or
loading
the
up
load they
or whatever
just
the case
did.
is, whatever the case may be. Always do a press check to see the status before you go back into your holster. When you, administratively, not in a gunfight.
That's all. That was what I was saying.
Yeah.
Shooter ready. Threat! Hit!
Slow it down.
Tap rack bang! Oh, that stupid thing didn't lock back because somebody's thumb was riding on it. Good. Threat!
That's usually what he talks about when he says putting your hand here in the
Hit!
Right side, come off the right side.
Hit! Whoa! Hit! You guys hear that splashback?
No, stop. Stop.
Brass?
Press.
It's right here. Hit! Hit! You guys want to run it again?
Yeah.
Smooth.
Out that
Hit! Nice. Easy, easy. Keep going, keep going. Hit, hit. Right target, right target. One more. Smooth. Ah! What am I doing?
It's really a sign.
Oh, yeah, good.
Got shot in the face when he was a kid later.
Stand by for the beat. Hit! .467 is the time to beat. Can a former U.S. Army Ranger beat a city cop? Soon to be a stripper. Stand by. On the beat. Hey! Don't hurt yourself. For the beat, ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Good. Stand and assist. Remember to crack down. 1925. Yeah. 1925. Please don't push yourself and hurt yourself. Just fall over.
start from the holster?
No, okay.
Yes, I did.
Shoot her in.
I was like, and then ballistic.
He's on it now.
Where are you running?
It's just a size thing, you know, like. Get a tighter shock room. So I went with the 19. Which I said I never. The 19 is different because it's not. I'll be concealing this. Or concealing. I mean, rounds I can carry. There's one in the chamber. I'm about 17 or 18 rounds. Holy cow, you know. I used to hold in it and shoot it. Uses and got trained teaching me good stuff with it, so I got really so I tried other things, but this just felt more comfortable.
Slack. That's slack focus. Front sight, front sight.
Huh?
Slack out. Front sight, front sight, front sight.
Good hits, guys.
Chemical suit's the worst. Huh? It's not even the plate and stuff.